Welcome back to Elevation 44. It's your girl B. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, family. Today I decided to switch up the scenery a little bit and come outside, get some fresh air. You know me, I'm always out in nature. And nature this time is my backyard because I am surrounded by trees, which is one of the things I love about being here, is all of the natural elements going on here. Got the birds, I'm not sure if you can hear them. You can see butterflies flying past. It is just a entire vibe outside. So this is where we're gonna have our video today. All right, so today we are getting into the Sagittarius full moon. All right, and this full moon is happening on June 14th at 7:51 a.m. Eastern time. Translate that to your local time zone, of course. And this moon is happening at 23 degrees. 23. When we break that down in numerology, that is the number 5. Okay, the number 5 is all about change, movement, and adventure. Okay, this is what 5 brings in for us. And Sagittarius energy is all about movement, adventure, exploration. Okay, if you know a Sagittarius sun, or you know somebody with a lot of Sagittarius energy, you know they do not sit still. They are always seeking the next adventure, busybody, doing the next thing, just all over the place, exploring, looking for that adventure. So that is I would say that is the theme of what we are kind of getting into today. Is this adventurous exploration, bringing in a sense of, you know what I mean, a sense of sweetness into our lives, because this is also nicknamed the strawberry moon, right? Because this is the time of the year where strawberries are in peak. Okay, so if we're gonna play on the whole strawberry theme, we're talking about the sweetness, bringing in that sweetness, that sweet spot, touching that sweet spot in your life. Okay, Sagittarius energy is also about, not only is it about avoiding the mundane, like same old, it's also about speaking your truth. It's about speaking the truth, and sometimes so bluntly so that it comes off tactless. You know what I'm saying? Like, just couldn't have found a better way to say that, even though it is the truth. Right? So speaking your truth is also something that you might resonate with under this energy, as well as, you know, having faith, right? Because this is Jupiterian energy. Jupiter is the planet that rules over Sagittarius. So we're talking about faith, that higher, you know, I guess that belief in something, the unknown, the unseen, and just being able to have faith in something beyond yourself, bigger than what your current circumstances show you. Okay, so I've got my notes here, and one thing that I want to talk about is I would say one of like the biggest things I think that this full moon is highlighting, beyond the whole sense of adventure and exploration and adding that sweetness in to your life, is that the moon is going to trine, which is a very synergistic energy, very positive flow or infusion of energy between planets, right? It's going to trine Mars, and it's going to trine Chiron. Okay, so Mars is our energy, it is our focus, it is our courage, and Chiron is the wounded healer. It is our deepest wounds that we're here to resolve or work through, and you know, that ties to our insecurities, things with our own identity, all of that type of stuff. So Mars and Chiron at the time of this moon are making an exact conjunction, which means that they're boom, aligned together, smack dab together in the sign of Aries. Okay, and they're at 15 degrees in the sign of Aries. And what this is doing, when I tell you guys Mars, just remember Mars is energy, and anything that Mars touches, Mars just adds fuel to. You know, it's like putting gasoline on a fire, whether that fire be for something good, transformative, or that fire be for something destructive, right? So it can go either way. And with Chiron and Mars adding that gasoline to Chiron, it really is bringing up or exposing our wounds, especially in the sign of Aries, these insecurities about ourselves, our identity, where we fit in, what we're trying to, how we're trying to belong, and how we don't necessarily belong in that aspect because it's not really aligned with our real truth of who we are. And a lot of us are breaking out of that shell of like what society deems as, you know what I'm saying, acceptable, or who we should be, and being actually who we are. So breaking past a lot of the things, the wounds, the things that hold us back, our anger issues, a lot of things that we're suppressing because we're not living authentically in our own truth in ourselves. And that is coming to the surface for healing in a good way. So with the moon trine Mars and Chiron, it's giving me self-nurturing vibes, right? And it's also giving me the energy of, wow, I'm finally letting go of things that are holding me back from being aligned to who I truly am and what I want, right? And I'm not listening to everybody else, and I'm not trying to fit in this mold anymore. I'm trying to align and put myself in a position where I'm living out my truth, and I'm calling in the things that truly set my soul on fire, that speak to me, okay? So this is giving us the courage to go after what we want. And what I will say too, with all of this energy that is coming in with the Sagittarius full moon, it really is a continuation of the work that we started during the Gemini new moon 2 weeks ago, when we were talking about happiness and all of that, and really getting clear and aligned on our happiness and bringing in more things that make us happy. This is a theme that is continuing with this full moon, and you will hear that. Not only that, it is the thing I think we are going to be focusing on for the next, year or so, as Taurus, as the North Node sits in Taurus and the South Node sits in Scorpio, right? So we're really trying to move towards the things that make us happy, that bring us a sense of peace, stability, security, pleasure, that type of thing. So these are the things that are to come, and what we're going to continue to be working on for a while. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the moon is going to be sextile Saturn. And sextile is just another very easy flow of communication back and forth between the moon and the planet Saturn, which is sitting in the sign of Aquarius. Now, the interesting thing about Saturn is that Saturn just went retrograde, okay? Went retrograde on June 4th and will be retrograde until October 23rd, okay? I'm not going to get into too much of what Saturn retrograde is or what it means, because I have a whole video dedicated to Saturn retrograde and what it means for you specifically, especially when it hits or touches on certain houses for you. So go on ahead and check out that video if you want more insight on that, which I will definitely link somewhere up here or somewhere in the description box down below, okay? But what this is, with Saturn being in retrograde, and retrogrades meaning that it's a time of reflection, you might be more reflective on the things that you have been working towards in your life. What is and isn't working? What responsibilities have you aligned yourself or not aligned yourself to that is, what I mean? That is really in alignment with who you truly are and what you really want. So this is really about taking a review of our actions in the past, where it's gotten us. Is it giving us yielding the results that we want? What do we need to change in this area? So it's all about working on our foundations or our structures here, okay? So you might be a lot more reflective during this full moon on those types of things. And that can also help you set your sights on that adventure or that exploration or that sweetness that you want to bring in to a particular area of your life, okay? Another thing that I will say Two is that the moon is going to be square Neptune. So it's going to be having tension with Neptune, which is still hanging out in Pisces, okay? And so there's a tendency here. We have to be careful just because there's a tendency here to delude yourself or to have others mislead you or deceive you. And when I say delude yourself or be misled, it's that because you are looking to spice things up, you are looking to break up the monotony of your life and to align more to the things that really, you know what I mean, call your soul and just give you that fire. You can find yourself looking to other people, to their lifestyles, to the things that it looks like they've accomplished that has made them happy, and it could be a complete facade, right? You can look to someone else's lifestyle who looks like, oh, they've got it all, they're living the ideal life, they're traveling, they're doing all the things that I want to do, and that cannot be real. Like, it could be completely false. So, or it could be something that is not even in alignment with what you truly want. Just because that looks like happiness for that individual or fulfillment for that individual does not necessarily mean that that is aligned to you and your truth and what you truly want. So using your intuition to guide you during this time is very, very, very important, not to get wrapped up in what everybody else and what it looks like over here, whatever. What does it look like to you? What does it feel like to you, most importantly? What does it feel like? And if it doesn't feel like it's in alignment, then leave it alone, because Sagittarius energy, especially with Mars in the mix, adding a lot of energy into the mix, it can have you making some real just very quick decision making that is not necessarily thought through. And you don't want to get down that road where you're making life-altering decisions or you're getting into things that are not good for you and then you've got to, reel back from later. Okay, before I dive into the houses, I will say, in order to find your house placement or what full moon this house falls in for you, hit the description box down below. In the description box, I always leave the link to the chart that you can find. It's the transit chart, which means the moving planets over your own particular birth chart, and that will show you that transiting moon. It will show you exactly what house it's falling in for you. Now, because I've gotten this question so many times, I have made an entirely separate video, which I will link up here or in the description box down below, that you can follow along if you still have trouble locating your house. So if this moon is happening in your first house, this full moon, you can find yourself focusing on how to explore your self-identity, including your physical appearance, okay? This is where you can spend time playing around with your appearance. Also, bringing out certain aspects of your personality that you might have kept hidden before or kept suppressed because you were not living out in your truth, speaking your truth, being in your truth, right? And here you can also focus on infusing more adventure into your personal goals, okay? So if this moon is happening in your second house, you could be exploring new ways to make money, right? Or adding some fun into how you make your money, because this is the house of money or resources and different things like that. So you can be infusing a little sense of fun and adventure in that aspect. This is also about exploring things that you are taking pleasure in and how you can bring a sense of adventure in that way as well, okay? If this moon is happening in your third house, this is all about exploration, but exploration of the mind. This is all about local exploration too, because third house is about local travel, your community. So it's about looking for adventure or finding adventure right in your own backyard, right in your own community. You really don't have to go too far to find what you're looking for, okay? In the fourth house, if this moon is happening in your fourth house, it's all about infusing more sweetness, joy into your home and family life. Like, What are the things that you can do to bring fun and adventure into your own home and into your own family life? Do you need to have more cookouts, host game nights, do different things at the house and bring family together? It really just takes one catalyst to get the ball rolling here in order to change things up in the family or the home space, okay? If this moon is happening in your 5th house, this is all about exploring, but exploring and finding adventure through the lens of a child. This is that childlike nature. So it's a sense of playfulness, infusing joy, playfulness into your life with children. Okay, children can be a very, very helpful way to do this, because if you're trying to get that childlike lens, who better than children to show you? So whether you have your own kids, or you have nieces and nephews, or you have neighborhood kids, or kids that you work with, spending some time around children so that they can help you see how to navigate in this way or bring an adventure in that way. Or if you just want to do it with other adults, but seeing it through that, again, that childlike lens will help you bring in a sense of a boost of adventure, joy, creativity, sweetness to your creative, pursuits, so your hobbies, different things like that. Or even in romance, that playfulness can come into your romantic life as well. 6th house, all right? This is all about exploring new routines because the 6th house is your day-to-day, the mundane, like everyday, daily habits that we have to do, things that we have to do every day. And sometimes it's about shaking that up and breaking up that monotony, right? So what can you do with your daily habits to bring in more fun and adventure, okay? So this could be taking a new route to work, getting on your bike instead of in your car, or taking a new route and discovering something new, or even with your health regimen, implementing a new workout thing, a new challenge where you guys, you get together with friends and you guys compete against each other, or, there's so many ways that you can do it, or shaking up and making your morning routine much more fun for the summer. It could be anything, but shaking up that day-to-day and finding a sense of adventure there, okay? 7th house, this is really about asking yourself, what new experiences do you need to cultivate in your relationships, the people closest to you, your partnerships, to bring in a sense of adventure. It's like there's excitement and stuff that you can find with the people who are already around you. And sometimes you want to look outside of them, but like, what are ways that, we can do things to bring in a sense of adventure together? That's what you should be asking, yourself when it comes to your closest relationships. 8th house, okay? If this moon is touching your 8th house, allowing yourself to find a sense of adventure by stepping outside of your comfort zone, okay? And exploring the taboo subjects, things that you feel like, that's just, I don't do that. I don't talk about that. I don't get into that, right? So, exploring taboo things. Also, this is big for sexuality. So exploring your sexuality, spicing things up there, getting comfortable there. So perhaps you're just bored in this particular era of life, and this is the stimulation that you're looking for. So allow yourself to be open-minded, step out of your comfort zone, and get into things that you have never thought that you would align to, or you have been just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, allow yourself to open up. 9th house. If this moon is falling in your 9th house, this is really about travel. This is about exploring, but long distance. This is about cultural exploration as well. This is about stepping out of your comfort zone, out of the little container, the little box, this little bubble that you've put yourself in. Stepping out of that and exploring and getting some new experiences, things that help light your soul on fire, okay? 10th house. This is about bringing in a sense of adventure into your work life. Something that literally feels so mundane and stagnant for so many people is their work life, okay? So how can you bring in a sense of a fun, of an adventure? What opportunities, things that you can align with here that help you feel that, right? And spice up, that whole area. So for the 11th house, if this moon is in your 11th house, this is all about group adventure. What kind of fun, adventure, exploration can you do with a group and within a group, okay? So this is all about, you know, finding your soul tribe to explore with. And then the last house, the 12th house. This is really about diving deeper and exploring the depths of your own mind, but not the type of mental exploration that we talked about in the 3rd house. This is like the depths, like this is like the hard drive. So this is going way back into the subconscious mind and allowing yourself to explore there, okay? Because this is the hard drive that holds all the data of this life, of our previous lives, all our experiences, all our information lies there. And it truly has the keys to like what we really are truly wanting in our lives, who we are. When we talk about that truth of Sagittarius, like you want to know the things that you're truly aligned to and you know why. It's like exploring everything here. So a lot of the answers on where we're headed, who we are, where we're headed, and why falls right into that sphere. So 12th house is definitely about deep diving. And that is it for the houses. The herb that I would recommend you working with is dandelion. This power herb is great for your hopes, your wishes, joy, happiness, youthfulness, which is all the things that we want to encompass with this energy. The power crystal I would recommend is citrine, because it is also a lot of those same things: happiness, luck, abundance. Citrine is just an overall lucky, great crystal to have in your collection. And the affirmation that I will leave you with is, I welcome adventure and exploration in my life, okay? Because we are switching things up. All right, that is all that I have for you. I hope that you found this information helpful. I know it was a lot, but hopefully it helps guide you along this journey, how to use this full moon energy to advantage, some of the things that you can think about in terms of continuation on the work that we started during the Gemini new moon on this whole theme of happiness and bringing more of that in. Let's, you know, use the Sagittarius full moon to continually put the spotlight on those areas and use this Saturn retrograde to really take time to reflect, or retrograde season in totality, to have time to reflect on a lot of the things that we've been working towards, that we've been building ourselves. So that is all. I will see you all in the next video. And to my Sag gang, I see you guys. I know y'all are here in the comments. I always see you all. So shouting anybody out who is, you know, got a Sagittarius moon, that can help give us some pointers on how to work with this energy as well, okay? So I will see you all in the next video. Love you so much. Peace.